Zenith has just crash-landed onto Kaelok's war planet, leaving a massive, smoldering crater in the metallic ground. He is standing tall in his fully upgraded Midnight Sapphire, armor and glowing-eyed helmet. High above him, standing on a jagged cliff, edge overlooking the fire pits, is Kaelok. The Iron Sovereign is massive, wearing brutalist dark crimson and gunmetal armor. He isn't in a fighting stance. He simply stands with his hands behind his back, looking down at Zenith like a god looking at an insect. The sky above them is a churning, dark blood red.
I've survived the collapse of a dying star. I've shattered a black hole from the inside out, but standing on this rock, the gravity feels different, heavy and cruel.
He doesn't just break their worlds, he breaks their will!
You bring a spark to a world of iron, little star. Come, let us see how quickly it extinguishes.
The moment of impact, Zenith's glowing fist smashes directly into the dark purple gravity shield, just inches from Kaelok's face. The collision creates a massive, violent shockwave in the air, sending shock rings of orange and purple energy blasting outward. Despite the sheer kinetic force, Kaelok hasn't moved a single inch. His expression is completely bored. Kaelok's eyes begin to glow with a menacing dark crimson light as he prepares to counterattack, while Zenith is visibly struggling. His thrusters burning at maximum just to hold his ground against the shield.
He didn't even brace himself! I hit him with enough force to crack a moon, and he just absorbed it!
Pathetic. You are a dying ember. Allow me to crush you. Oh.
Gah!
Gravity is not just a force, boy. It is a chain, and you are already bound.
Kaelok doesn't even throw a punch. He simply raises one massive, gauntleted hand, and his dark crimson energy flares. Instantly, an overwhelming, invisible gravitational force slams into Zenith from above. Zenith is violently forced down to one knee, the metallic ground shattering and cratering beneath his feet from the sheer concentrated weight. His Midnight Sapphire armor sparks fiercely, the liquid crystal matrix groaning under the pressure, while Kaelok towers over him completely unfazed.
1,000 times the gravity of Earth concentrated right on my shoulders. It didn't just push me down, it buried me.
Zenith refuses to stay down. He plants his glowing gauntlets onto the shattered metallic ground and begins to force himself upward against the crushing dark crimson gravity. The physical toll is immense. His Midnight Sapphire armor is screaming under the pressure, with microfractures appearing as bright, white-hot orange starlight bleeds through the cracks.
You can't punch a gravitational field. You can't out-wrestle the weight of a world. But my core is the living heart of a dead star.
Zenith fully unleashes the power of his chest reactor. A blinding, violent shockwave of fiery orange starlight erupts from his Midnight Sapphire armor, physically shattering the dark crimson gravity aura pressing down on him. The metallic ground explodes beneath him as the anti-gravity shockwave sends huge, jagged chunks of rock and metal floating upward into the air. Zenith stands tall, his armor glowing with intense power. For the first time, Kaelok is forced to raise his massive gunmetal gauntlet to shield his eyes from the blinding light.
He thought gravity was a chain meant to bind me! You are not the only one who knows how to bend physics, Kaelok. To me, gravity isn't a chain. It's just fuel.
The blinding orange light of Zenith's shockwave fades. Kaelok slowly lowers his gauntlet from his face. His armor is slightly scorched, but his glowing red eyes are furious. He doesn't even flinch. Instead, Kaelok tightly clenches his fist. Instantly, all the massive chunks of shattered metal and jagged rock floating in the zero-gravity air suddenly stop dead. They are immediately coated in dark crimson gravity energy, and Kaelok violently hurls them all directly at Zenith, like a barrage of high-speed meteors.
You think you broke my hold? You only gave me ammunition. Let's see your spark survive an avalanche.
Zenith doesn't retreat. He plants his feet firmly on the shattered ground and extends both of his gauntlets forward. His chest reactor flares, and blinding, concentrated beams of white-hot fiery orange plasma erupt from his palms. The intense starlight beams slice through the air, violently colliding with Kaelok's incoming dark crimson meteors. The rocks instantly explode into molten slag and glowing ash before they can even reach him, creating a spectacular mid-air collision of fiery orange and dark purpley crimson energy.
He fights with the weight of the earth, so I have to fight with the heat of the sun. Let's see if his armor melts as easily as his rocks do.
Zenith uses the thick cloud of glowing orange, ash, and vaporized rock as a smokescreen. Suddenly, he bursts through the smoke cloud at breakneck speed, rocketing straight toward Kaelok. His Midnight Sapphire armor is sleek and aerodynamic, leaving a trail of blue and orange energy behind him. His right fist is pulled back, completely engulfed in swirling, blindingly bright white-hot starlight plasma. Kaelok, visible in the background, finally looks surprised and has to quickly raise his arms to brace for the incoming impact.
He fights from a distance because he thinks he is a god looking down. But gravity is a two-way street. It is time to bring him back to ground level.
Zenith's blazing, white-hot starlight fist connects directly with Kaelok's massive chest plate. But instead of a kinetic shockwave, it's a thermal explosion. The intense fiery orange plasma violently burns right through Kaelok's dark crimson gravity shield, and visibly begins to melt his thick gunmetal armor into glowing slag. For the very first time, the massive Kaelok is physically pushed backward, his boots digging deep trenches into the metallic ground. Kaelok's eyes widen in genuine shock and pain as the heat overwhelms his defenses.
He commands the weight of a world. He thought my physical strength was the only threat, but my title isn't the heavy, it is the starlight, and iron melts.
Kaelok is pushed back and his chest plate is glowing red-hot from Zenith's punch. But his shock instantly turns to pure rage. Before Zenith can pull his glowing fist back, Kaelok's massive, heavy gunmetal hand violently reaches out and grabs Zenith by the throat or collar of his armor. Kaelok's eyes flare with blinding crimson light. He doesn't just increase the gravity of the planet this time, focuses a localized, crushing dark purple gravity field directly onto Zenith's body at point-blank range. Zenith's Midnight Sapphire armor instantly begins to buckle and crack under the terrifying, focused pressure.
You burned my armor, little star. Now, let me crush your core.
Zenith is suspended in the air, choking in Kaelok's massive grip. Instead of trying to pry Kaelok's fingers off his throat, which is impossible, Zenith grabs Kaelok's heavy forearm with both hands. He channels every ounce of his reactor's power straight up into his chest and helmet. Suddenly, Zenith unleashes a point-blank, blinding solar flare of pure white and orange starlight directly into Kaelok's face. The light is so intense and agonizingly bright that it cuts through the dark gravity field. Kaelok roars, instinctively dropping Zenith and staggering backward, throwing his hands up to cover his searing eyes.
He is compressing the space around my throat. I can't break his grip with sheer force. But a star doesn't just burn, it blinds.
As soon as Zenith's boots touch the shattered ground, he doesn't waste a single millisecond. He crouches low, ignites his thrusters at absolute maximum capacity, and launches himself upward like a rocket. He delivers a devastating reactor-powered starlight uppercut, directly under Kaelok's heavy gunmetal jaw chest plate. The sheer kinetic force and explosive thermal energy of the blow are so powerful that it actually lifts the gargantuan Kaelok completely off his feet and launches him up into the blood-red air. Kaelok is helplessly floating upward in midair, from the force of the uppercut, looking shocked and disoriented. Before Kaelok can even correct his posture, Zenith uses his thrusters to fly at blinding speed, instantly appearing high above the airborne Kaelok. Zenith clasps both of his gauntlets together overhead. His hands and chest reactor burn with a massive concentrated ball of white-hot fiery orange starlight. With incredible ferocity, Zenith swings his clasped fists down like a meteor, slamming directly into Kaelok's chest to send the massive villain crashing back down to the planet.
He rules the ground, but up here he is just a rock, and rocks fall.
The massive, smoking crater, Kaelok buried in the rubble, Zenith floating down like an avenging angel.
He told me gravity was a chain, but every chain has a breaking point, and a falling rock always finds the ground.
The dust in the massive crater begins to violently swirl. Kaelok slowly rises from the heavy metallic rubble. His brutalist dark crimson and gunmetal armor is heavily shattered, with massive chunks missing, revealing raw, glowing dark purple gravity energy pulsing underneath. He is furious and desperate. Raising both of his heavy gauntlets to the sky, he begins to compress the planet's gravity into a single, terrifying point above his head, creating a localized, collapsing dark matter singularity. The sheer gravitational pull starts ripping the surrounding metallic environment into the sphere.
His armor is broken, his body is failing, but his pride is still intact. If the Iron Sovereign can't win, he is going to crush the entire board.
Zenith doesn't try to run or fly away from the intense gravitational pull of the dark sphere. Instead, he anchors his boots into the shattered metallic ground. He channels every last drop of his chest reactor's energy into his right hand, forming a massive, crackling javelin of pure, blinding white-hot starlight. With a massive battle cry, Zenith hurls the starlight spear directly into the center of Kaelok's dark matter singularity. The sheer concentrated heat and light of the spear instantly begin to violently overload the dark sphere, causing bright orange cracks to shatter across the dark purple gravity magic.
He thinks a singularity will save him, but I've broken one of these before. A gravity well consumes everything it touches, so I gave it a taste of a supernova.
The overloaded singularity violently detonates. A colossal, blinding, world-shattering shockwave of pure white-hot fiery orange starlight and dark purple gravity energy blasts outward, ripping the sky apart. Kaelok is caught dead center in the explosion. His brutalist dark crimson and gunmetal armor is violently blown to pieces, completely disintegrating under the overwhelming heat and force of the blast. The sheer power of the explosion illuminates the entire dark blood-red war planet in a blinding, triumphant orange glow.
He thought he was the immovable object, but every world has a sun, and eventually everything burns. They call themselves gods. They claim the universe belongs to the heavy, the ruthless, the iron-willed, but they always forget the first law. Gravity might hold the universe together, but starlight brings it to life.
The sky bleeds out in rusted red. The rubble tastes like lead. I can feel the thrusters hum, just the static in my head. Gravity, it isn't a force, it's a cage. And I'm just a ghost on a dying